Come on, Cab. It's time to go to work, baby girl. Gotta make that money. Welcome to Sure Podcast, where life, laughs, law, and leisure interact in absolutely no organized manner. Thoughts from inside the Sherpa. As always, no Sure apologies. In this week's episode, we chat about things I like and am doing this week, low IQ Pete and his complete loss of control over the bachelor pad, Aaron Hernandez being just as much as a sociopath as Victoria P, and the coronavirus. Important health tips, what to do and not do to stay alive in these times. Hey guys, welcome to this week's episode of Sure Podcast. I'm here with my BFF and guest, but she might just become a staple, Her Royal Highness Queen Gabrielle, I feel like this is first of her name, aka White Truffle, aka Buttered Biscuit, aka Pound Cake. Those are all the names I've thought about naming her sometimes. But anyway, she is my true best friend. We now have matching Barefoot Dreams Sherpas. So Barefoot Dreams, we love you. Love us back. Sorry with the creepy wink again. But we're kind of hot right now because even though it's freezing in here, we had to hustle to get here. So we're kind of hot in our Sherpas, but I feel like I have to wear the Sherpa in order to do this. If I take Sherpa off, you will see my prison outfit that I'm wearing, which is my nap Gap shirt, but I like to tuck it in because I don't want to just be swallowed by the clothes. So I like to have a waistline, and these are Amazon brand joggers. Size large. I like to, have room. So anyway, this is what I normally wear, my day to day. But I brought a bunch of things. My dad told me that his constructive criticism was that I was looking shifty. I wasn't looking at you guys enough. So I'm going to try to make better eye contact with the camera, Dad. Anyway, so I'm going to start off with things I've been doing this week, things I like this week, things that are important in my everyday life right now. And first and foremost is this little drink called Pep Talk. And I know I had it on my last one, but I am a crazy soda drinker. You guys saw in my first episode my little foam cup. I'm straight up addict. I need it a certain way in a foam cup with a certain ice on my teeth. And giving up soda and all this stuff has been so hard for me. But this helps me get through because it's really good. It's just like a LaCroix, but LaCroix doesn't have caffeine. So then I always have to pound coffee. And when I say pound coffee, I pound straight black coffee. It goes straight to the dome. It's like Monster shots in college. That's me with coffee on an everyday basis. So now I don't have to do that because I can just enjoy myself with Pep Talk. Again, I'm kind of drooling, but look, see, even Gabby wants some. Not sponsored by it, but I'm open to it. All right, and then this is, you guys, I have weaned off the Carmex addict train as well. I told you about that crazy addiction that they make you have, and my lips are so much happier. I'm just using this men's lip balm that I stole from James. I ordered a bunch more. It's Jack Black, lemon, and shea butter, SPF 25. I freaking love it. It's so nice. But really just get off Carmex. It's just hooking you in. It's like McDonald's. This is something else. I am not, trust me, so many people are oh, can you heal your autoimmune with essential oils? No, you cannot at all. But they're nice, they smell good. If you don't have a disease, maybe yes, maybe your headache will go away with some eucalyptus, but not mine. But anyway, I do just love them. And I love the eucalyptus, and I've had a cold the last couple weeks. So along with everything else, I just love the eucalyptus smell, and it's just really nice. Gabby likes it too. What did I just smell? So I'm going to set the mood with that for today. It also brings some invigoration. Invigoration, I think that's a word. It invigorates you. Also, I always have bags under my eyes, always. This brightens your eyes up so much. It's Tula skincare. It's freaking awesome. Plus it's cold. It has caffeine in it, and it's a cold, it feels so good. It feels like I'm rubbing ice under my eyes. It's so nice. And then you just kind of rub it in, and it gives you an instant shine. And it's like my favorite product of the year. Like product of the year. Oh, I'm getting like a sweat mustache from how hot I am. Need to cool it down. Okay. So, also, I've been still doing my fasting. I think that like last episode, I was real low energy. And I think it's because I was like just starting the fasting. I cut out gluten and dairy. I started fasting, no soda. I was like legit dying. Like I was dying and I kept losing track of like time. I was like, where am I? I'm doing an episode. But anyway, with my fasting, I like to break it with these Ethan's MCT shot turmeric ginger. It's so good. It's like a butter ginger shot. It's awesome. And it's good for you, I think. This is prescription only, but if you have arthritis, I suggest this cream. Like a lot of times they'll just give you oral steroids, and I try and avoid oral steroids like at all times, even though I'm on them now, but like taking more. This is a Voltaren or diclofenac gel that I apply to my hands every 4 hours. So if any of you guys out there suffer from arthritis, ask your doctor about diclofenac gel, because I put it on all my joints and especially my hands because like they freeze up, especially when I'm like coloring for long periods of time and like they start shaking, and the gel helps like my hands not get so like claw-like. Speaking of coloring, I hope it made it. Did it not make it? Oh my gosh, I forgot my drawing of the week. It was a really pretty penguin. I'll show you guys later. But all right, let's get into everything. Put my things away. Or just like over here. Gabby, you can relax. You can relax, honey. So first, we always talk about Bachelor recap. And I really didn't think Bachelor could get any more low budget than when the big trip was like a shady place in Vietnam for Colton's season, but it did get more low budget because Chris Harrison's like, hey guys, we're going to Cleveland. Like Cleveland, Chris, really? I mean, I have to go there with my husband for like health concerns on Valentine's Day, and we are just like getting in and out of Cleveland. Like we are just like, oh my God, we have to go to Cleveland. I didn't think people like chose to live there. So, I mean, I don't even know what's in Cleveland, and we found out on this episode, unfortunately. And I feel like it was definitely paid for by like the Cleveland Tourist Board or something, because they kept being like, Cleveland, this hidden gem. Cleveland is not a hidden gem. So anyway, it's just fitting that the shittiest city goes to Victoria F., who sucks. Like, wear a freaking full top for once. That polka dot half top she's wearing, I'm like, yes, it does accentuate your huge boobs that are way too big for your frame, but it also, like, you look like a clown. Like, polka dots, I just don't like polka dot half tops. Like, she looks like a freaking clown. And I hate her, like, I just really dislike her personality. It's just horrible. But first of course, Bachelor has to always, like, pretend like it's also Fear Factor. And they go on this freaking they go to this weird, like, rundown amusement park, I guess. Like, I would not go on any of those rides. They look super unsafe. And that thing that they fling on, like, why are you going to do that? That's going to make you either throw up or you're going to, like, get, like, flung into the concrete. Like, there's nothing good about that flinger. And I don't get why it always has to, like, try to be Fear Factor. So then the producers pull a really kind of, like, twisted thing on Low IQ Pete. They obviously knew that Victoria F. and Chase Rice, who's apparently a famous country singer that I have never heard of, and I don't even know about, like, I know I'm not a country fan, so I asked, like, my friends that are country fans, and they're like, we've literally never heard of him. So I looked him up on Google, and from this website called soundslikenashville.com, it says, Chase Rice is a contestant from Survivor Nicaragua. Although popular and well-liked by his LaFleur tribe mates, Chase struggled with keeping his word, especially to Brenda Lowe and Jane Bright. Ultimately, his indecisiveness cost him the win, losing to Fabio Burzo by 1 vote. So clearly he's another LA, like, low life, and he and Victoria F. have dated dated, meaning like loosely dated, meaning what Chase says. He says, quote, "We spent a night together in Charlotte. She's a cool chick from what I know of her," like her vagina. He said, "I got no problem with her. I got no problem with him. I knew she was going on the show." Chase Rice. Like, come on, Victoria F. If you're going to be honest, do not say that he's your ex-boyfriend. Like, we know what happened there, and it wasn't dating. But this just fuels my theory that all these people are like LA lowlifes that just like hang out, and that's how you get on The Bachelor. And that's what Meghan Markle is bringing her family to, is to become a bunch of LA lowlifes. Like, that's going to work out. Maybe Archie will be on The Bachelor, Meghan Markle. Maybe that's what you want. Like, wow, he'll escape a life of like scrutiny to be an American celebrity, like the Kardashians or like, some other reality family. So yeah, Markle, good job. Definitely way better than being a royal. So poor low IQ Pete, he goes through this whole date like thinking it's going awesome, and Victoria F is just like, oh damn, I slept with the guy that's singing. So she tells him, obviously it's fine because low IQ Pete doesn't really care about, he's very sexually okay with anything. I feel like you could tell him, she could be like, I had sex with a dinosaur or like an elephant, and he'd be like, that's okay, you had to explore, like now you know what you like. Like, I feel like he would just be like, that's fine. And he's always like, I respect you for it. She could be like, I was trained by some donkeys in Mexico, and he'd be like, well, now you know what it's like, and you can see if you'd rather like be with me or be with a donkey. Like, I just feel like he's so like chill about it. I mean, like, does anyone have standards anymore? I'm not being judgy, I'm just saying, like, I just feel like there's a difference between this, like, I don't know, you guys are going to say I'm being judgy, but I just feel like there needs to be like some standards, and Pete doesn't have any. I hate Victoria F. She's so fake. That fake little baby fit she threw in the car, I'm not even going to redo it because it was so disgusting. That was just like, so Gabby threw up in her mouth. Anyway, she gets a rose because she was open about her sex life. Yay. Then I also wanted to point out that the table they sat at was also so low budget. It was just like a little table setting from Below Deck, but one that Hannah made and not Kat. Like the really bad ones that Hannah makes that are like embarrassing, that honestly, like my Critty's like nursing home did a better job of making tables than these people do on for $1 million yachts. And I also want to say, like, what is so hard about their job? You're a deckhand. Like, you take care of you. She's like, no one understands how hard my job, this job is the hardest job in the world, working on a yacht. And it's like, what? You guys get drunk fucking every night, and you put some marbles on a table, and you like give people coffee and drinks. Like, what is so hard about that? I'm waiting. It's insane. If someone can tell me what's so hard about being a deckhand on Below Deck, like, let me know. I mean, I could never do it because I get so seasick, but beyond that, I mean, it doesn't seem that hard. I feel like it's just Applebee's on a boat. Again, Peter keeps being like Cleveland. They keep showing like signs for Cleveland. Like, this is like Cleveland promotion. And I just don't, you're not making Cleveland happen. Cleveland is not happening, Pete. So then we get back. We go on the group date. Again, it's like Tammy's time to shine because it's football. So I thought she would like crush some bitches, but she really didn't. It ended up being Shan and Sydney that shone in the football. Sydney was really fast. I was like super impressed at her athleticism. And Shan, she's horrible, but she was pretty good at their little game. So, go her. But it didn't matter because we now know that sociopath Victoria P, she's like, oh, my back still hurts, so I'm gonna sit out. And she's just beautiful, and Peter's in love with her. So he like sat with her the whole time, and the girls were upset. And then we find out, this is where we find out she's a real sociopath, is Aliyah comes back from the dead, and they're all pissed off about that. But really, she tells Peter that she and Victoria P were like legit friends. So when Victoria P said she maybe hung out with her for 3 hours, those were her words. She's like, I've maybe hung out with her a total of 3 hours in my whole life. And then we find out that they planned a trip to Vegas together, and there are hundreds and hundreds of texts between the three of them, like, or the two of them. Like, this is so bizarre. I mean, again, low IQ Pete. This dude is so dumb. Both these bitches lied to you. Victoria P lied way worse than Aliyah did, and you need to send them both home. Like, any other bachelor or bachelorette would have just put their foot down and been like, I'm sick of this. You guys are both going home now. You've both lied to me, both broken my trust. But no, like, somehow she's like, I need to speak my truth. That's my truth, is that we knew each other for 3 hours. That is not your effing truth. And that's what pisses me off, because millennials also do this. I need to speak what's my truth. And it's like, okay, well, tell that to your therapist, but the truth is the truth, and that's what happened. It's a factual event. If your truth is like you feel like an 85-year-old woman and that's how you want to be, that's fine. But you're not 85, you're 25. And like, if your truth is that you're not friends with Aliyah and you barely know her, but you guys spent like multiple days together and talk on the phone all the time, that's just fucking not true. You do know her. Like, it's just I hate the whole my truth thing. It's important if you're like a sexual survivor or like a trauma victim, but not like, there's no like my truth when it comes to facts, like a certain set of facts in The Bachelor. I mean, come on. Like, those are words you use, again, with like rape trauma survivors. This is the show The Bachelor. There's the truth, not my truth. So like, when she said that, just all the hair went up. I was just, oh God, Victoria P. Again, Sheehan is just like, all she does is cry about not having time with him. And then when she gets time with him, she just cries about not having time with him. Bye, Sheehan, you need to go. Like, she's just filling in space. They have nothing to talk about except how she doesn't get enough time with him. Well, you're not using your time very wisely, honey. So the vibes get like super vicious, and then he picks Kelsey to go on a group date or a one-on-one, which was so boring. I don't even want to talk about it. She's horrible. Again, they went around low budget Cleveland. The rose ceremony, the women are literally yelling at him. Like, I have never seen this before in all of Bachelor Nation history. Low IQ Pete has let those women get away from him. He has lost control. The ball is not in his court. Like, he does not have the upper hand. Any other bachelor or bachelorette, again, would have like put their foot down. Everyone would be scared. He would have sent those two bitches home and been like, listen, if you're not here for me, get the fuck out, because this is my heart you're dealing with. But instead, no, he's just like letting them run his life. Like, he's letting them mouth off to him and be like, you hurt my feelings because you didn't listen to my truth. And I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe the nerve of Victoria P, how she turned it around. And I honestly don't think Peter is mentally strong enough to survive this. Like, he needs like a life coach there, like being like, you're in charge. Like, you need to tell these people what's up. So next week, it looks like they're in a tropical place. Hopefully it's not like the jungles of China, like Wuhan. That would be probably low budget right now. You could probably get a cheap ticket over there if you could pass the blockades of soldiers. Soldiers and like not get shot. But I feel like they're going to go somewhere low budget again, because it's just getting lower and lower budget. And I mean, they just need the drama. So like, who cares where they are? So we see Tammy's crying next week, which, like, what makes Tammy cry? I'm really interested. McKenna cries. I can't stand her. McKenna, whatever. She always cries. There's an ambulance. So that probably means someone had like a mild panic attack. And they look like they're in a tropical place, probably somewhere low budget. What do you guys want to guess? I'm going to guess like the Everglades. We're going to the Everglades. They like come out on like a swamp buggy and they're like in Okeechobee. That's what I'm picturing. Okay, so I've gotten a few requests of like things to talk about. And one of them is like Kristen Cavallari. What are these cheating rumors with Jay? Okay, so here's what happened. I researched, and this is what I found out. So her former BFF, Kelly Henderson, she is a like stylist, makeup artist to celebs, I guess. And there was a rumor going around that she and Jay like hooked up last season at Very Cavallari when they were filming it, when he was like trying to help her find a man. But there apparently is like zero, I couldn't find anything on the internet that I searched for a while, like that there was like zero credibility to any of those rumors. It was just the fact Kristen's pissed because like I guess Kelly was, she like kept bringing it up, like kept posting about it, but like, you know, she was like basically, Kristen was like, take my name out your mouth. And she wouldn't. She just kept saying, nothing's happening with me and Jay, blah, 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 which obviously makes it look like something's happening. So Kristen was just like upset with how she dealt with like that situation. So that's why they're like not friends. But I love Kristen. She's my favorite little tan bag of bones there is on TV. And, you know, I love Jay, like Smokin' Jay. And I don't think he's going to cheat on that little bag of bones because she's adorable. And she's the moneymaker. And I feel like, well, first of all, Jay's going to cheat. It's going to be like he's low down. We wouldn't know. But he's the best husband ever. Like, he bought her farm, all those animals. Like, I love their life. It's super cool. I don't know how she's so skinny and lives. It's, like, amazing. It's just like Kate. It's like Duchess Kate. Like, how do they live? But, yeah, this is Kristen's direct quote. Real news. Quote, she never had any doubts about her man, quote, but she wanted to post something about it. I was like, quote, don't post anything about it. That's the last thing you do. Why do you want to post about that? To get more attention about it? If I'm accused with having an affair with your husband, I wouldn't say his effing name on social media. Like, come on, it blows my mind. Totally get it, Kristen. I get it. I'm on Team Kristen. All right, so this is like a little heavier. This is about the Aaron Hernandez documentary. I watched it all. It's 3 episodes, and sorry, my trachea is giving me some issues. I realize that's probably not attractive to listen to or watch. Jared's like so grossed out by me. I'm like sweating. I have like a sweat mustache. Gabby's hot. I think that just gave me like indigestion a little bit. I swallowed the bubbles. Oh, I kind of need to blow my nose. Okay. We're back at it. Okay, so I was at UF like the whole time Aaron was. I was there from 2006 to 2010 undergrad and then law school until 2013. So like, you know, I remember seeing Tim Tebow out all the time, but I don't remember seeing Aaron. Like, I mean, like a specific incident. I'm sure I saw him around, I remember like seeing him around campus, but I can't remember like a specific time. So like, no, I didn't know him or anything or travel in any remotely of his circles, but they make, first of all, I just want to say they make UF like look like a sex den in that documentary. There's like girls dancing on tables, like, yes, college was super wild. I'll be the first one to admit it. Like, there's a little man named Squirrel that took me home one night. Like, I was riding on a skateboard and he pulled me on his bike. He still works at Balls and he's like doing great. I'll show you guys a picture of Squirrel, but he loves me. He was awesome. I mean, there's like really, I should have been murdered in college. Like, there's no way I should be alive. I'm the first one to say it was a huge party school. My friends and I partied like crazy, but the way they depicted it in the Aaron Hernandez documentary was like, no, there's not like just like wild sex happening out at XS. Like, it was just like, it looked too much. I was like, no, this is not, we're cooler than this when we partied. Like, we like hung out at the swamp. I don't know. It wasn't as wild as they made it seem. But basically, they talk about, you know, Aaron, I guess, his dad was a star football player, but he was really hard on them. He was homophobic, and that Aaron was closet gay growing up. So that, like, contributed to his insecurities. But, you know, ultimately, like, they also talk about his chronic traumatic encephalopathy. I think that's how you say it, CTE, which is the degenerative brain disease that you get from having multiple concussions, like a lot of football players. We've seen a lot of football players get it, and it can lead to depression. It can lead to a lot of other things. But ultimately, my take on the whole Aaron Hernandez documentary was that, like, everyone's blaming all these things, but no one's blaming him. I'm not saying his life was, like, super easy or super hard, really, either way. I'm just saying, like, he was a sociopath. He had no qualms with killing people to hide whatever he had going on. I mean, I know a lot of people with traumatic brain injuries that aren't just murderers. I know a lot of people that were closeted gay in college, and it was hard for them to come out, but they weren't murdering people to cover it up and then just going along with their life. Like, if you look at his history too, it's really crazy because he did have a dual personality. Like, he could just like straight up murder someone and there was zero remorse. And I mean, the legal standard isn't like, is this person like a well-rounded individual? Like, no one that commits heinous crimes is a well-rounded individual. Like, would you say that Ted Bundy, who went back and had sex with dead bodies, like, clearly there's something wrong with him. There's something wrong there. But they still know the difference between right and wrong. They know it's bad. Like, that's the legal standard, not whether or not, there's something, because clearly if you kill someone, like, there's something off about you. But I mean, looking at like just the escalation of his violence is so, standard really, I want to say, for someone like him. Like 2007, that Gainesville nightclub fight they talk about, where like he just like didn't feel like paying his bill. And I do remember that happening. I remember like reading that in the paper, but it was really like shuffled under. And I feel like Urban totally knew what was going on. I mean, all of these football guys do, and they cover it all up for them. So it's not like I'm not blaming UF at all. Do I think Urban knew what was going on? Yes, he knew what was going on with the Ohio State coach thing too, and the domestic violence. But they don't care because it's a billion-dollar industry. But you have the 2007 nightclub fight. You have the double attempted murder in Gainesville, which again, like, there's really shaky evidence. I don't think they would ever get enough evidence to even get an indictment from a grand jury or file an information. I mean, whatever they decided to charge him with, they wouldn't get enough evidence to ever charge him with that regardless, unless something huge broke out. But from what it seems like, that is going to go to just fade away. They just don't have anything really on that case. Then you have the Boston murders, the 2 murders, and I seriously do not know how he got acquitted of those. He was convicted of Owen Lloyd's murder prior to those, because remember, they found his car during the search of his house that was used in the Boston shooting. But what's so crazy to me, and this just shows you like how crazy juries are. I mean, like, if you guys watched it, you know that the evidence the state had against him in the Owen Lloyd murder was like overwhelming. I mean, it really was. They had his phone records. Like, he was so stupid, like renting the car. I mean, the picture of him with a gun when his fiance's like, I don't know, it looks like a black blob to me. It's like, no, honey, that's a gun. But she, yeah, I mean, she was ride or die for him. You have to say that. Love after lockup vibes right there. But yeah, like his bro, Alexander Bradley, that he just straight up shot in the face. I mean, I get that he wasn't a reliable witness because he was a drug dealer and a criminal as well. But like, Aaron Hernandez shot him in the face to silence him from the Boston murders. Like, the car used in the murders was found in Aaron Hernandez's aunt's garage. And this is how, again, like how weird juries are. So basically the jury said that one of the main reasons why they didn't convict him of the double murder, despite all the video evidence, like the video surveillance, like the fact that they had a dispute in the club, Bradley's testimony that he was the driver and Hernandez shot them. The guy saying that the one guy that did survive that was shot, that said like Aaron Hernandez, he couldn't exactly say it was Aaron Hernandez, but it did look like Aaron Hernandez in the car with Bradley. So like, we have him at the scene, we have him there. The jury said that there was a discrepancy because the state found a .38 caliber weapon from like the early 1900s. And a revolver, and the weapon that Bradley said was like slightly off. So like, that's one of the reasons why he wasn't convicted. But they found him guilty of possession of a firearm. So that's how dumb juries are sometimes. One of the reasons is like, you couldn't put the gun in his hand, yet you did put the gun in his hand because you found him guilty of possession of a firearm. So you found that he possessed a firearm. It like blows my mind. It blows my mind how he wasn't convicted, but he wasn't. So, justice didn't win on that. But a lot of people have said, like, you know, why do you think he killed himself? I personally think he killed himself because I think he was more concerned about the gay rumors coming out. I think he was like so scared for some reason that would just shatter his image that he'd built up of this like macho, like hard guy. I don't get how he like thought that would stay under wraps forever. Especially since he had it like didn't seem like he was hiding his affair with his prison boyfriend. And I also want to point out that like Aaron Hernandez loved prison. I've never heard of someone liking prison more because people like that enjoy a controlled environment, like sociopaths where he can control everything. He's top dog, everything's on his terms, and he can just play the game all day long. And, you know, again, definitely maybe he had some concussions. I think they did say that after his autopsy, they did find he did have some signs of CTE. But again, like my mom, like half my mom's brain is like dead from a car accident that she had when she was 16. Like if you look at the MRI scans, it's like the doctor will be like, yeah, Amy, this whole part of your brain is dead. Sorry, Mom, I guess I'm violating your HIPAA by like saying this, but she like functions fine. Momo does what she needs to do. She's not out like killing people, you know. Again, like I think they tried to use so many excuses, but it was like he was just a straight up evil bad dude. Like his brother is fine for all we know, he seems fine, but I mean, man, like sometimes you just gotta say he's a sociopath. So that's my take on Aaron Hernandez. It is so crazy because like I remember like loving him. I mean, I didn't know him, but obviously loving that we won 2-3 national championships. But anyway, what can you say? Okay, the other thing people are asking me about is the coronavirus. According to Fox News this morning, there's 4,000 confirmed cases, 100 deaths in China, which probably means like 5,000 or like a billion. China would never tell us the straight number. Like they would never be real with us ever. It's in 15 different countries in 3 different continents. So it's got to be like Asia. It's definitely North America. It's definitely in Asia. I would assume it's in Africa. Or no, I think it's Europe. I don't think it's spread to Africa yet. Africa is a different continent than Asia, right? Jared, Africa's its own continent, right?
Yeah, but it's connected.
I know it's connected, but they're all connected, right?
Europe, Asia, and Africa.
Isn't North America connected by that strait? Or did it break away a long time ago?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe you guys can let me know. I need to look at a globe. Okay, so it's definitely in the U.S. There's 5 confirmed cases. I had told some of my friends yesterday, and I guess I was totally wrong, that it was in Florida, but it's not in Florida, Orange County, California. So there's 2 cases in California, 1 in Chicago, and 1 in Arizona, and I want to say 1 in New York, but it's definitely not in Florida yet. It'll probably be here soon because everything comes to Florida. Everything bad happens in Florida. There'll probably be like an outbreak. So my advice is to use hand sanitizer everywhere. Also, I don't have them because I gave them to my husband because he's traveling right now. I gave him like 30 masks, but like I went to the National Immune Deficiency Foundation conference this summer of all the top immunologists in like the country, and obviously immunology like is the study of your immune system, like how not to get sick because I have multiple immune diseases. So like they try and sell you all the time these like Vogue masks or the Cambridge masks, which are expensive masks that you can buy on the internet. Don't waste your time buying them. All the top doctors in the country say to just buy the surgical masks and switch them out every 30 minutes because that is actually the best way to go with germs. So that's what I do. I gave them all to my husband, and like CVS is like freaking sold out of them right now. It's like so insane. But really, if you're traveling anywhere, especially internationally right now, I would wear a mask and I would just change it out. The Vogue mask and Cambridge aren't going to do it for you. It's just, you're also going to feel really they're very like thick and claustrophobic feeling. And I mean, if it's a respiratory thing, and I mean, you can contract it by just like coughing and sneezing and being in the circulated air. I don't know how much good a mask is really going to do you anyway. It's just going to stop like direct contact. if the air is circulating and someone's next to you with it, I mean, you're pretty much effed. Like you're getting it. So try not to. And yeah, I'll keep you updated on that, because if I get the coronavirus, I am like straight up dead. Like there's no hope for me. Like my body can barely handle the common cold, let alone I think the flu would another stomach flu would 100% take me out. I was in the hospital 4 days last time I had the stomach flu. So like Gabby's mommy needs to live. Yes. So next week I'll just be doing my usual. If you guys have anything you want to talk to me about, just let me know, or want me to talk about, let me know. I could talk about how much I love dogs, but I think you guys know that. Do you guys ever like find the comfort of like the smell of your dog like comforting? Like for me, but each dog smells different, but like for me, I love the smell when I'm sleeping of like the inside of Gabby's ear. And I don't know if that's like really gross. Like it smells like home. Like it can't be washed. It has to be like her own scent. Like it smells so good in there. And it just like comforts me so much. And I feel like that's disgusting, but sure, it's like that's literally, you're just smelling her earwax. But I just do. I love her. I'm happy she's here today. And next week, I'm actually going to start talking about this. When I first moved to Vero Beach, you know what? I'm going to put a video, but this has been too long. I'm going to put up a video about this later for a preview for next week. And yeah, I'll leave you guys on that note. Stay safe from the coronavirus. There was also an earthquake. I hope no one was impacted by that. And yeah, Bachelor, poor low IQ Pete. We'll keep watching his demise. I think those girls are going to eat him alive. Peace.